Have you ever taken a silent moment to truly sit back and wonder why some people can navigate the most complex, chaotic, and difficult situations in life absolutely effortlessly, while others seem to constantly trip, stumble, and fail over the simplest, most basic daily tasks? Why is it that certain individuals always possess the uncanny ability to say the exact right thing at the absolute right time with perfect articulation, while others continuously struggle to put their thoughts into words, making poor choices that leave everyone around them deeply questioning their psychological intelligence? A very warm, hearty, and enthusiastic welcome to all of you to the English Academy. If you are tuning into our channel for the very first time today, let me tell you that this is your ultimate, premium digital space dedicated entirely to mastering communication, unlocking rapid cognitive growth, eliminating mental barriers, and completely upgrading your overall personality. I am absolutely thrilled, honored, and excited to have you here today with us for this deeply intellectual session. Before we move forward into the core of today's topic, I have a very special and important request for all our amazing, loyal viewers. Please take just one single second right now to hit that share button and send the link of this video to your close friends, your family members, your WhatsApp study groups, or any online community where people love engaging in deep, thought-provoking, and intellectual discussions. Spreading knowledge is a collective responsibility, and your one single share helps us reach hungry minds that genuinely want to grow, expand, and evolve. Furthermore, if you are a true believer in our mission here at the English Academy, and you want to actively support our efforts of spreading high-quality communication and psychological education across the globe, please take a moment to look at the Join button located right next to the subscribe option. By clicking that Join button and becoming an official premium member of our channel community, you unlock incredible exclusive perks, custom badges, direct priority interaction with me, and special member-only masterclasses that will fundamentally fast-track your personal development and linguistic journey. Now, let us address the absolute elephant in the room without wasting any more time. Today, we are diving incredibly deep into a subject matter that is highly misunderstood, slightly controversial, universally debated, but completely fascinating, and that is the absolute, raw psychological truth about low IQ signs that 99% of people completely pass over, ignore, and miss in their daily social interactions and professional relationships. Before we begin analyzing these specific behavioral traits, let me make one thing crystal clear, definitive, and absolute. This video is not designed under any circumstances to judge, mock, criticize, or look down on any individual human being. Human intelligence is an incredibly vast, beautiful, intricate, and diverse spectrum, and everyone possesses entirely different hidden strengths, talents, and capabilities. Instead, our ultimate goal today is pure objective, psychological awareness and self-reflection. We are going to explore the deep-seated psychological, behavioral, emotional, and linguistic patterns that scientifically indicate a lower cognitive baseline. More importantly, we will discuss exactly how you can identify these subtle, hidden patterns in your daily life, protect yourself from toxic decision-making, shield your energy from manipulative individuals, and completely transform your own mental sharpness, analytical clarity, and English communication skills. Grab a notebook, pick up a pen, get comfortable, eliminate all external distractions around you, and make absolutely sure that you listen carefully to every single spoken word until the very end of this video, because what we are uncovering today might completely change how you view human intelligence, social hierarchies, and human behavior forever. To truly, deeply understand the underlying signs of a low IQ, we first need to completely unlearn, dismantle, and discard the massive societal myths surrounding the concept of an intelligence quotient, commonly known as an IQ score. Far too many people mistakenly and foolishly believe that if their English language skills are not absolutely fluent, or if they do not know complex, fancy, and high-level vocabulary, then it automatically means their IQ is low. Let me stop you right there and directly correct this massive wave of misinformation with absolute clarity. As the host of the English Academy, I am telling you with complete authority that this is a total, absolute misconception. A language is simply a medium of communication, a functional tool designed to pass data, thoughts, and information from one human brain to another. You can be an absolute, stellar genius speaking a local regional dialect, and on the exact contrary, you can be incredibly foolish, naive, and dense while speaking flawless British English with a perfect, elegant accent. IQ is not about what specific language you speak or how wealthy your background is. It is fundamentally, biologically about how your brain processes logic, recognizes complex structures, solves unexpected problems under pressure, and adapts to brand new, unfamiliar information in real time. The real, defining hallmark of a low IQ isn't a lack of formal school or college education, it is the dangerous habit of surface-level thinking. It is the absolute, stubborn inability of an individual to look past the immediate, obvious, and superficial layer of a situation, an event, or an argument. Throughout this continuous, massive deep dive, we will break down exactly how this superficial, lazy processing reflects heavily in cognitive biases, daily personal habits, lifestyle choices, and yes, even in how a person structures their sentences and handles professional conversations. The first and perhaps most frustrating, universally encountered sign of a low IQ is what psychologists around the world call the Dunning-Kruger effect. Simply put, the absolute less people know about a specific, deep topic, the louder they shout, argue, and boast about it. Individuals with a lower cognitive capacity almost always possess an incredibly inflated, toxic sense of confidence and self-assurance. Because their brains lack the structural depth to grasp the sheer scale, history, data, and immense nuances of a complex subject, they genuinely, honestly believe they have mastered it completely after looking at it once. They will argue aggressively, rudely, and endlessly about advanced medical science, global politics, corporate finance, macroeconomic policies, or human health based entirely on a single sensationalized headline they accidentally read online or a random, unverified short video they watched while mindlessly scrolling through social media platforms. Think of that one stubborn colleague at your workplace, or that acquaintance in your social circle, who completely and utterly refuses to listen to experts, data, or logic because they blindly believe they are naturally wiser than everyone else in the room. A high IQ individual, on the exact contrary, always embraces a state of deep, intellectual humility. They know for a fact that the world is incredibly complex, and the more they read and learn, the more they realize how much they actually do not know. When a person completely lacks the mental capacity to see their own ignorance, they remain permanently trapped in a bubble of false superiority, which is a definitive indicator of a completely stagnant intellect. Moving further into human behavior, daily lifestyles, and personal discipline, the next major, glaring sign of a lower intelligence quotient is a severe, noticeable lack of emotional control and a complete, absolute inability to delay gratification. The prefrontal cortex of the human brain is the exact region responsible for regulating both emotional stability and long-term strategic planning. When an individual constantly reacts with explosive anger, vulgar language, or immediate aggression over minor, insignificant daily inconveniences, it shows a clear lack of cognitive maturity. These individuals throw adult tantrums when things do not go exactly their way, and they consistently prioritize short-term, superficial pleasure over long-term stability, financial health, and personal well-being. They live strictly and dangerously in the immediate present moment, completely unable to calculate, project, or comprehend the long-term, compounding consequences of their daily small actions. They will always prefer immediate comfort and instant dopamine spikes over delayed, meaningful rewards, which scientifically proves a lower level of analytical processing and brain maturity. Now let us bridge this discussion directly with communication, which is our absolute core focus, passion, and specialty here at the English Academy. A major linguistic and communicative sign of a stagnant, low IQ is the active, deep-seated psychological resistance to expanding one's personal vocabulary, language structures, and expression skills. When someone relies on the exact same childhood level, highly repetitive words over and over again in every single conversation using generic, lazy descriptors like very good, very bad, nice, sad, or okay, for every single complex life scenario, it indicates that the brain is actively refusing to build new neural pathways and cognitive connections. Intelligence, by its very nature, demands nuance, clarity, emotional precision, and structural variety. A smart, evolving mind naturally feels the desire to accurately describe a difficult situation as detrimental, exhausting, or subpar rather than just calling it bad. If an individual actively avoids learning new sentence framing structures, feels genuinely threatened by advanced communication, and aggressively dismisses articulate, refined speech as just someone trying to act smart or show off, they are actively suppressing their own cognitive potential. They deliberately choose comfortable mediocrity over intellectual growth, which keeps their mind locked in a passive, uninspired state. Another deeply rooted psychological trait that directly correlates with a lower intelligence quotient is the total, absolute inability to handle constructive criticism or objective feedback from others. In the realm of cognitive behavioral psychology, high IQ individuals view feedback as free, highly valuable, and curated data that they can actively use to upgrade their skills, fix their underlying errors, and refine their overall personality. They do not attach their fragile ego to being right all the time. Instead, they attach their identity to finding the actual, objective truth of a matter. On the exact contrary, low IQ individuals view any form of constructive feedback, polite correction, or alternative perspective as a personal declaration of war, a direct threat to their entire existence, or an intentional insult to their character. Because their internal identity is incredibly fragile and completely tied to a false illusion of personal perfection, even a minor, well-meaning suggestion causes them to instantly lose mental stability. They will immediately get hyperdefensive, throw intense emotional tantrums, scream, shift the topic, or transfer the blame entirely onto someone else. In many cases, they will play the victim card, completely convincing themselves and others that everyone is simply against them, rather than taking a silent moment of introspection to look in the mirror and logically correct the error. This rigid emotional barrier completely blocks any chance of personal, academic, or professional growth, keeping their intellect entirely stagnant. Before we go any deeper into the next set of analytical signs, I want to take a very quick, important moment to remind all our incredible listeners here at the English Academy to hit that share button right now. If you are finding this deep psychological breakdown valuable and eye-opening, please share the link of this video with your close friends, your college study groups, or your colleagues who appreciate deep, intellectual content. Spreading knowledge is how we grow together as a society. And if you really want to step up your learning journey, support our work, and get access to exclusive, member-only perks, advanced communication masterclasses, and direct interaction with me, make sure to click that join button right next to the subscribe option. Becoming a premium member of the English Academy community is the best way to support our independent educational channel and unlock your true cognitive potential. This emotional fragility and inability to accept personal mistakes ties directly and seamlessly into the chronic blame game, which behavioral scientists describe as having a deeply embedded external locus of control. This is the toxic, subconscious habit of blaming outside forces, bad luck, stars, society, or other people for every single failure, mistake, or setback experienced in life. If an individual fails a crucial exam, they will aggressively claim that the teacher was deeply biased, the questions were unfair, or the grading system is completely broken. If their professional career is entirely stagnant and they are not getting promoted, they will instantly complain that the entire corporate economy is rigged, or that their manager simply dislikes them. While it is absolutely true that systemic issues, unexpected tragedies, and external obstacles do exist in the real world, a definitive low cognitive trait is entirely refusing to ask oneself the simple, foundational question: what specific role did my own personal choices, my lack of effort, or my poor decisions play in creating this negative outcome? High IQ minds understand that while you cannot control every single external event that happens around you, you are always 100% in control of your choices, your work ethic, your preparation, and your ultimate reaction. When a person completely surrenders their personal accountability to external circumstances, they are essentially shutting down the analytical part of their brain, rendering themselves completely powerless and intellectually passive. In our modern, fast-paced digital age, another massive, incredibly dangerous red flag of a lower cognitive capacity is absolute gullibility, which manifests as accepting any piece of information without even a single second of validation, skepticism, or logical cross-questioning. We see this unfortunate phenomenon happening every single day all around us. Millions of people blindly believe highly sensationalized fake news headlines, instantly forward completely unverified, ridiculous messages on mobile applications, and fall victim to obvious, transparent online financial scams without pausing to think logically for even a moment. A lower IQ brain completely lacks the rigorous analytical filters, the objective skepticism, and the cognitive stamina required to cross-question information before accepting it as absolute truth. They consume information passively, allowing themselves to be easily manipulated by emotional triggers, fear-mongering tactics, or cheap clickbait headlines. A smart, highly intelligent individual never takes information at face value, no matter who is presenting it. They check the sources, look for empirical evidence, analyze the underlying motives, and compare multiple perspectives before forming a solid, logical conclusion. If a mind lacks this basic defense mechanism, it remains extremely vulnerable to deception, which is a clear sign of weak mental processing. This brings us directly to another major sign of a lower intelligence baseline, which is the literal death of curiosity, the complete and total absence of the words why and how in a person's daily life. If you take a close look at the thoughtful, vintage boy depicted in our video thumbnail, you can see that he is staring deeply at his own brain, completely lost in profound thought and contemplation. Curiosity is the absolute lifeblood, the fuel, and the foundational pillar of human intelligence. The moment a human being stops asking questions about the universe around them is the exact moment their intellectual growth permanently stops. A major sign of a stagnant, low IQ is when an individual is entirely content, satisfied, and happy just consuming hours upon hours of mindless entertainment, celebrity gossip, or repetitive short videos every single day, never once wondering why things are the way they are, how systems operate, or how they can actively improve their own skills, intellect, and vocabulary. They have zero desire to understand the deeper mechanisms of science, history, finance, human nature, or language. They choose the easy path of mental laziness, letting their cognitive faculties naturally fade away, rust, and atrophy over time due to complete disuse. Before we move on to how you can completely reverse these signs and rapidly upgrade your cognitive faculties, let me take another brief opportunity to remind everyone tuning in to please hit that share button. If you think someone in your circle, be it a friend, a classmate, or a family member, needs to hear this psychological breakdown to protect themselves from bad habits, copy the link and share it with them right now. Also, consider clicking the join button to support the English Academy as a premium member. Your small contribution helps us keep producing deeply researched, high-value content without compromises, while giving you access to exclusive language perks and priority badges. Now, let's talk about the incredible solution. If you noticed one or two of these signs in yourself or someone you closely know, do not panic or feel discouraged at all. The most beautiful, groundbreaking discovery of modern neuroscience is neuroplasticity, the human brain's incredible, lifelong ability to reorganize itself, grow brand new neural connections, and literally increase its intellectual and analytical capacity at any given age. Your intelligence quotient is absolutely not written in stone, nor is it a permanent genetic sentence. You can actively, consciously upgrade your mind, your logical processing speed, and your communication starting right now. To initiate this powerful cognitive upgrade, you must first commit to the practice of active vocabulary integration. Do not just passively listen to English words or consume content without intent. Every single time you watch an educational video here on the English Academy, make it a strict rule to identify at least 3 brand new words or sentence framing structures. Write them down in a physical notebook, understand their deep contextual meanings, and deliberately force yourself to use them in a real-world conversation or a written message within the next 24 hours. This active usage forces your brain to bridge the gap between passive recognition and active execution, effectively creating robust new neural pathways. Second, you must choose deep work and high-value reading over mindless, infinite doom scrolling. Make a conscious lifestyle adjustment to swap 30 minutes of short-form, low-effort video consumption for focused, active reading. Pick up editorial articles, non-fiction books on psychology, history, or science, or read thought-provoking essays. This deliberate practice forces your brain to rebuild its attention span, practice deep comprehension, and process complex structural arguments without seeking instant gratification. Finally, you should implement what I call the 5-second pause rule in your daily life. Before you react to a frustrating email, an aggressive comment on social media, or an intense personal argument, force yourself to completely pause for 5 seconds. Take a deep breath and let your analytical prefrontal cortex override your immediate emotional impulses. This simple habit builds immense cognitive control and mental maturity over time. True human intelligence is never measured by a simple piece of paper, a test score, or a formal academic degree. True intelligence is measured by your continuous willingness to learn, your emotional resilience under pressure, your ability to question your own biases, and the conscious effort you put into how you carry yourself and communicate with the world around you. I want to hear from you now. Which of these 7 signs do you think is the absolute most common one people display in their daily life? Drop your detailed thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. I personally read, analyze, and reply to your insights. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me today here at the English Academy. If you found this deep psychological dive valuable and enlightening, please hit that like button right now, share this video with someone who loves deep, intellectual content, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you never miss our upcoming communication masterclasses. Until next time, keep questioning the world, keep refining your speech, and keep expanding your incredible mind. Take care of yourself, stay sharp, and goodbye.